Muad'Dib gave us a particular kind of knowledge about prophetic insight and its influence upon events which are seen to be online. That is, events which are set to occur in a related system which the prophet reveals and interprets. As has been noted elsewhere, such insight operates as a peculiar trap for the prophet himself. He can become the victim of what he knows, which is a relatively common human failing. The danger is that those who predict real events may overlook the polarizing effect brought about by overindulgence in their own truth. They tend to forget that nothing in a polarized universe can exist without its opposite being present. The Prescient Vision by Hark al-Ada. Welcome back to Dune Saga, everyone. This is Season 3 of our Dune campaign here on Stolen Fires channel. I am Eric at Morona Plus Online, your game master for this epic multi-arc adventure series, which continues tonight with our 5th storyline, Leviathan. A very special welcome and salutation to new and old viewers alike to the Stolen Fires channel here on Twitch, where there's always a Let's Play or RPG live play to look forward to. Check the Stolen Fires Discord listings for updates. As a content warning, this program features adult situations and language and may not be suitable for all ages, so listener discretion is advised. Special music shout-outs go to Pixabay, Infraction, Repulsive Sound, The Whole Other, Tabletop Audio, and Bleer Moon for the use of their excellent music. You can find more awesome ambient sounds and tunes over at inaudio.org, secretpress.bandcamp.com, YouTube, music.youtube.com, pixabay.com/music, and SoundCloud. Many thanks to Modifius Entertainment for making awesome games for us to play. We want to thank Roll20 for the use of their virtual tabletop platform, perfect for hosting games like Dune Adventures in the Imperium. And as always, we want to give a big thanks to our viewers and fans for tuning in. Our house entourage is here and ready to engage in the deadliest of intrigue. Agents of the Imperium, remind our audience who you are, where they can find you online, and who you will be playing this evening. Beginning with Aaron.
Hello, everyone. I am Aaron. My pronouns are anything but he, him. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Drake Cthulhu in some form or another. Tonight, I will be playing Eloise Cheshire, the black sheep of the Cheshire family and agent of the guild, whose pronouns are she, her.
Excellent. Leo.
Hello, my name is Jared. Well, Leo, anyways. And today, wow, I can't talk today. Anyways, you can find me at the Leo of the Black on Twitch, where I play video games every Sunday. Yeah, right now we're going through Halo and getting pretty crazy. Anyways, today I'll be playing Archibald for you, for he has a many of scheme that he's got cooked up.
Nice. Devin.
Hello all, I am Devin. You can find me online at Sorta Silly, and tonight I am playing the totally innocent, does not have schemes within schemes, Mother Norma.
Excellent. Ambrose.
Hey everybody, I'm Ambrose. My pronouns are he or they. You can find me all over the internet as AmChangeling. And you can find me on Etsy at Thornkind, where I make stickers. Stick them on your friends, stick them on your face, stick them where stickers be stuck. Anyway, tonight I will be playing Zoshir Tamer, whose pronouns are he, him. Oh, jeez. Oh, the little baby Baphomet. So cute.
Key.
Hello, I am Kisama. You can find me on Twitter at TrueKisama, and tonight I am Pardot and Tat.
Yes. And last but not least, of course, Rachel.
Hello, my name is Rachel. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet, including here, including Twitter and Instagram, many places. You can sometimes swing by and catch me playing Dragon Age, the video game, and at some point, Dragon Age, the tabletop game.
Excellent. Now for a very short recap of the previous session. Ambrose, if you would be so kind.
Absolutely. Thanks in part to her exposure to unrefined spice, Eloise has an overwhelming vision of the nexuses on Arrakis. A three-house battle in Arakeen, one of which is House Cheshire. Amirah before a magistrate in chains. The Cheshires gathered somewhere for a funeral. An imperial blockade on Arrakis. A guild highliner crashing into a planet. Marooned, starving survivors. Someone not Shaddam for Carino on the imperial throne, coronated. Emperor? Empress? Walking in a cold sweat, she struggles to parse any useful information from the vision. The battle was between Atreides and Harkonnen, with Cheshire in the middle. The funeral was for an assassinated Massum. The Imperial blockade was by the entire Landsraad. Somehow, Eloise was involved in the Highliner crashing. The marooned people are on Seluca Secundus or Tuopile, where the defeated where the defeated houses go. Thank you. She needs a mentat to parse out more. Zoshir prepares a trip to Arakeen to investigate the missing spice. He stores the stolen ornithopter at Sietch Hagaharg, while he and his followers travel by Sandworm to Sietch Simpopions? Okay, cool. They encounter another crashed ornithopter by another Sietch, a stripped Cheshire model. Zoshir decides to make contact, and Jaweed... the Naib is roused from sleep. He's immediately suspicious, but any inclination he has to help is quashed when another Fremen, Mafo, challenges Zoshir for his water debt. Zoshir has few options but to accept, and prepares for the fight as the entire siege turns out to watch. He fights carefully, conserving both energy and water. But he's a renowned Chris knife fighter, and the duel is over before it barely begins. A sidestep, a slash, and Mafo is relieved of a throat before he comprehends what happened. Zoshir did not survive the Jakarutu to die here. One more for the death stills and a new Mala pistol for him. As he leaves, Sayadina suggests hostage shaking as an option. Dawn arises in Arakeen, and the Cheshire entourage enjoys breakfast together. Daphne seats Massum close by, listening as Dr. Sloan reports on Lysander. Eloise maintains a stoic demeanor in light of her homecoming, while in counterpart Pardot even cracks a smile or two. Daphne tries to engage Eloise in conversation, offering to bring her to Adelaide's shrine. Eloise agrees and asks to borrow Pardot. Well, if he's got the spare time, of course. But the conversation turns tense when Eloise speaks bluntly of Alicia's murder of Adelaide. Voice shaking, Daphne says she loved her sister and mother both. Standing suddenly, she says she's done with breakfast and invites an anxious Massum to walk the gardens with her. Norma excuses herself to pursue the task given her by Dr. Yue, wondering if Lana's body is kept along the shield wall. Outside, Daphne and Massum speak as they walk. The two of them realize they've been having the same dream, of the wolf and the worm. Visions? A family thing? Something else related to Arrakis? They hear an ornithopter land nearby. Odd, but before Daphne can parse out the full meaning, it's too late. One Fremen holds a knife to Massum's neck while Zoshir has his Mala pistol leveled at Daphne's head. Daphne tries to convince them to let Massum go, but they both end up being taken aboard the ornithopter. Too late. Alarms sound throughout the compound. Pardot is informed of the kidnapping and orders an immediate squad of ornithopters after them. Eloise secretly orders Amirah to follow. Meanwhile, Archibald and Yeva discuss the Baron's summons over breakfast. Yeva, discontent with the situation on Jabberwock and Snicker, sees this as an opportunity. Forces here still want to see Archibald back in the garden, and ornithopters have gone missing. She insists on accompanying him, to Giddy Prime. Marrying her, Archibald concludes, was a good idea. Giddy Prime is a factory world choked and acidified by smoke and industrial waste. Citizens go about their business with full-face respirators as a tall, slender man with blue eyes introduces himself as Peter de Vries. He flatters the general a bit before bringing him to the Baron. The hallways are claustrophobic and ever-watching, decorated with intricate, perverse carvings. De Vries opens the door with a palm lock and says the Baron will see him now. As Archibald moves towards the throne, he sees bodies. Dinner guests, dead in pools of their own blood, a few hours gone. The throne itself is empty, lit up by hollow projectors, a live feed from elsewhere in the palace. Baron Harkonnen congratulates Archibald on his marriage and claims the dead are all enemies of Archibald. The Baron has done him a favor. He asks what honors Archibald has received since the war on Jabberwock. Few, he points out. But now, of course, Archibald owes him. Baron Harkonnen offers an alliance. After all, Archibald is one of the best military minds of his generation. He's attracted even imperial attention. But that power shifts and changes. Only House Harkonnen is forever. In exchange, why is the Emperor so interested in House Cheshire? He presses the question with his full force of personality, but Archibald resists. This isn't how he wants to win. He deflects by saying he spent far too much time in the garden. He knows too little. Yeva challenges him, which the Baron seems strangely to respect. Peter will arrive on Jabberwock soon, with an envoy intent on earning Archibald's trust. Time to leave. Back on Arrakis, Zoshir abandons his ornithopter on the shield wall, later to be found by Tiberius. Daphne and Massum, relieved of their personal possessions, are escorted through the desert. The Fremen are not cruel, and Daphne does her best to remain her dignity. She communicates to Massum. Survival is the goal now. As the sun sets, and hopefully the other members of the house track them, the group shelters beneath a rock outcropping. Some suggest drugging Daphne and Massum, but Zoshir says that's not necessary for now. Blindfolds, however, will be used. Meanwhile, Mother Norma comes across a sietch guarded by armed, waiting Fremen. They recognize her as a Sayadina and invite her to greet their own wise woman. Being brought inside, Norma recognizes the Sayadina is clearly another Reverend Mother. A schismatic? The Sayadina is suspicious of Norma's motives. Norma herself says she's here on a mission, but remains unsure she should complete it. She hints the Bene Gesserit breeding program might have achieved its end. But the Sayadina knows who Norma is and mistrusts her. Shortening of the way, says the Sayadina, is not who Norma thinks it is. That's when the Fremen bring their prisoners. Daphne, her blindfold removed, pretends not to recognize Mother Norma. You will tell us what you did with the spice bribe, says the Sayadina to the captives, or the consequences will be dire indeed.
Right, excellent. Thank you for reading that, Ambrose, and thank you, Rachel, for writing those excellent recaps as always. And now we continue with Leviathan. All right, so you previously, I think you had about 4 momentum as a group, but the scene has changed, and every time that happens, you lose 1 momentum. So you're down to about 3 currently. see. We're gonna go back to Arrakis, and sitting in the cave in the sietch, Daphne and Massum are brought before the Sayadina. Blue within blue eyes, she looks out at you, Norma. You told her that you're here on a mission, but you're not quite sure whether to carry it out or not. She seems doubtful of your, I guess, lack of commitment, shall we say. Go ahead and give me a communications roll.
Okay. This is just to relay my intent.
This is to convince her that you're not lying so she doesn't call for the Fremen to execute you.
Alright.
Yeah, no big deal.
Alright. Well, then I'll put it.
I'll tell you what she got here. 3.
3?
Yep.
I'll burn a momentum so that I have 3 dice because I don't have 3
Okay.
to succeed with. Since I'm not lying.
Well, that's precisely why she's so suspicious, because you told her the truth.
I know.
You told her who you are, and she knows who you are. You're the right hand of the Mother Superior, and she's on the run.
Oh, 1 success.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Are you ready to burn a point of momentum? A point of determination.
I don't have determination. I haven't had determination for a
You-
season and a half.
You always start every session with at least 1, so you can burn your 1 point of determination.
Oh, really?
So
Oh.
choose. Yes.
Wait, we start each session with 1?
I believe so. Yeah, determination. Da-da-da-da-da.
Some of us cool kids start with 2. Wink.
Yeah.
I thought it was something else. Okay. Then yeah, sure, I'll burn it because I have a thing to go with that.
That gives you exactly 3, but there is a complication upon as you roll that 18. This is a very dangerous situation right now. So we're gonna say that complication is she is convinced that you're not here to do away with her or to report her to Mother Superior, which is what she suspects you're here to do. But she is not forgiving at all for these 2 captives that are before you. And seeing as you're maintaining the appearance to not know them, she presses Daphne and Massum. Very well, Reverend Mother Norma. To my side, please. She motions for you to step close and observe these 2. Until I guess you suppose to help her see if they're lying as well.
Yeah, I'll stand next to her. Let's see how she deals with this.
I'm gonna roll something else here in a second, see if she rolls extremely well or not. Oh, she rolled really well. You notice that, she brings you close and she puts you before her, before these 2 that are bound and sort of like on their knees on the floor, with the Fremen around them with Mala pistols at the ready. And you see her say something to the effect of, you notice that what she's doing is she's not only gauging their reactions, she's watching you as well. It's like Daphne Cheshire. We have found your ornithopters. We have found what you've done with our spice bride. Where is it? Where have your people taken it?
I do
She
not
looks
know.
He looks over to Zoshir and gives him a nod, like to prepare like his Mala pistol or whatever, because like has no qualms about executing anybody. Just as you're preparing to do so, the curtain of beads flies open, and you see Jaweed, the sietch Naib, steps inside with 2 bookends. Both warriors, hands on their crisp knives. Naib, my Naib, she says. We have 2 captives from this house Cheshire. These outframe, she points, are responsible for the missing spice bride. We were about to take their water. Do you want to question them before we do so? He looks over and he's like, "Indeed, I do." And kind of steps before you. He's got like a long cloak, Jabba cloak on. He throws back the hood, blue within blue eyes, scars, rough patched a beard. He looks you up and down, Daphne. He looks over at Massum, grabs his face, and turns and looks. "These outfriend have not been here long," he says. He remarks to the Sayadina. "Are they really capable of taking something as such as this?" And she's like, "We found their symbol on their ornithopters. Zoshira reported this. He came all the way from South Polar regions to report this, to find the spice bribe. Clearly they must have it stowed somewhere, perhaps in that palace of theirs in Arakeen. Go on, outsider. Speak."
You have my word. As Duchess of House Cheshire, I do not know anything of any spice bribe. As for the ornithopters, perhaps what you saw was branding. We make many ornithopters and sell to many houses.
It was your banner.
Then I think we have a common enemy.
They look at each other, the Sayadina and the Naib. "You boy, are you her son?" He looks over to Massum, and Massum just kind of like he looks to you, and he's communicating with you with house language, like, how do we want to play this, basically. What is your response, Daphne?
Daphne will say ward.
A
Or
ward?
blink it out, yeah.
The Sayadina looks over at both of you, and she's sort of studying all three of you. It's not technically a lie, but you are trying to convince them, and I'll grant you a bonus die. Go ahead and roll communication. See how this comes across.
Oh. Would a bonus in body language be helpful?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm gonna go with justice because I must shield those in my care.
Very good. You have to beat 3 as well.
Oh shit.
Holy moly. 3, right on the money.
Hooray.
There's something about how you communicate this to the Saidina and Jaweed, the Sietch Naib, where they are compelled to believe that you're telling the truth. They don't think that there's any sort of subterfuge going on with you being here. They think, but at the same time, there's something that happens on Jaweed's face. This realization, your hyper awareness kicks in immediately, and you start to realize, like, Jaweed just realized he made a huge fucking mistake. Because the spice bribe is now gone, which means the guild are free to send up their satellites into the air, which means they can track the Fremen movement and track them to their sietches, which means if these people were tracked, the game is over. He looks over at the Sayadina and he's like, "Put hoods on their heads and take them to the back of the sietch. Keep them in captivity until further notice." Were they followed? He looks over to you, Zoshir.
Did I roll to see if we were being followed?
You
Oh.
noticed that there were ornithopters taking off and trying to make their way over to you, and you hid in the rocks and you abandoned the thopter.
And Daphne will also say, yes, you were followed.
I beg
They
your
both
pardon.
look.
I am the Duchess
He-
of House Cheshire. I command
Joe,
many
we-
talented people. You were followed.
Jaweed, like, sneers for a second. He looks over at Zoshir. He's like, "Take 5 warriors, go back outside, make sure that no one finds their way in here. Go, now!" Bags go right over your heads, Daphne and Massum. He tries to make eye contact with you again to communicate, but the bag goes right over, and there's like a zip as they bring you up, and they at gunpoint they haul you off to the back of the siege. Zoshir, you grab some warriors, you start heading outside. Key, I need you to roll for Tiberius, who's hot on their trail. Aaron, I also need you to roll for Amirah,
Okay.
who's very quietly on board for the ride.
Sounds good. What am I rolling?
Well, you're trying to go up. You're trying to sneak up on a Fremen sietch.
So move.
So you're gonna need a move roll.
Okay, and then, oh, it's probably duty. Duty is a sharp blade. Yeah, I'm assuming
Sure.
that's what it. Okay.
Zashir, I need you to roll discipline and observation if you have it as a focus.
I'll go out on a limb and assume stealth applies to the move.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Three successes for Tiberius.
That's really good.
One for Amirah.
Oh.
Do our architect NPCs have determination? Or is that only a PC thing?
They mostly have PCs with determination points. However, if you would like to spend threat, I'll give one to you for 3. Decisions.
Yeah, I'll tell.
Oh God.
You can have the 3
All right.
and I will spend that determination for 3 total myself.
Very good.
The other shoe dropped. I'm not rolling as good as last time. And that was even with my subtle
Oh
step
God,
purchase.
Ambrose, that's such a shit roll.
I told you. I
Ow.
told you it would happen.
Okay.
I rolled too
So
good
we've
last
got
time.
1
Too high.
versus 1. And wow. Tiberius is on a roll. So you managed to get the drop, you and your soldiers, on a group of Fremen that are exiting out of this cave. One of them in particular has a black hood on, big Jabberwock cloak. You're just sort of observing this from on high. Amirah nearby stays perfectly still, with the sand like cresting over the rocks, sand getting everywhere. The Fremen troop come out and they've got weapons, plenty of them, and they seem to be like filing out to and just taking positions around the entrance of the sietch. Tiberius, your action.
Would we have guns with us?
Oh, absolutely.
I
You
assume
have
so.
You have Mala pistols and Mala rifles at your leisure, and knives, of course, things like that. Blade, whatever kind of blade you want.
Mm-hmm.
And these are palace guard troopers, so yes, they also have shields as well, which means any close combat attack made against them is 1 difficulty higher.
I think Tiberius is going to give the order to keep watch on these Fremen, like guns trained on them, but to hold their fire for now.
Very good. Okay. Zashir, you go out with your Fremen warriors, and it's getting dark now. So you move out into the rocks and try to see. You get the oil lens binoculars. You look out to see if you find anybody. There's only just slight movement off to your periphery, however, and you pretend not to see it. You kind of nudge somebody, and you kind of like do like that. Hurdy sees you, like motioning like there's movement over there on the right. Somebody's moving very quietly behind those rocks. What do you do?
Don't exactly want to give away my position.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to direct Hurdy to flank them, so that if they decide to take action, she and I can both pounce from either side.
Okay, so you slink around. Amirah, give me a discipline notice roll. And Zashir, now you can roll move and any stealth that you may have attributed to it as a focus. Oh my. Okay. Oh shoot. So sorry, you got success. Amir. Amir got 3 successes previously.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That gives you two momentum.
I'm in pain.
Would you like to use some of that momentum that you got to roll extra dice?
Would everyone be okay with that?
I mean,
You have.
I feel
you
like
have
Aaron might
4.
object.
no, I'm fine with that. I feel bad for your rolls, so go for it.
I feel oof. The pity momentum.
Yeah, it's fully pity momentum for me. Yes.
Okay. Are you gonna use roll 2 extra or just 1?
Just one. I don't want to waste.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to waste it.
Go ahead and roll.
Is there? Oh yeah, there's an option for just one die.
Yeah, you can just roll 1 die. Moving duty. Your target is 15, so you actually made it. That's a success.
Oh, I saw that number. I was like, ah.
So you move over to where the rock is, and you see that there's a there was someone here, and it looks like they moved in a hurry, but they moved very quietly, even quiet for you two. Hurdy's like, "What's this?" And she picks up like a sash, a colored sash of some kind, like an amethyst or iridescent purple, like silk or something like that. It just got left there, like a veil almost. She's like, "What the heck was here? I think we've been followed. What should we do?"
I will motion for her to just calm down.
Okay, but still, what do we do?
Survey the area. Make sure that the entrance to the sietch is not found.
She takes two warriors and she gives you the other 3, and you both kind of split off in different directions to start, looking for any signs of an ambush or anybody who tracked you recently. You spread out. Norma, meanwhile, inside the cave, the Sayadina looks to you. I think I gave you her name. Let me just double check something here very quickly.
I don't remember her name.
I'll give you her name right now. She identifies herself as Sayadina Longinus Isabel Sosha, also known as Murma. Sosha. Let me give you the name here because that's a mouthful.
Longinus
Isabel.
Isabel Sosha. Okay.
She's one of the rogue Bene Gesserit that were on your list to find and report on. She pulls you aside behind the beaded curtain as the 2 prisoners are being carted away. Shortening of the way? What do you know, Reverend Mother Norma?
I know that the one whom you speak of is simply Moheim's choice.
That would be a very strange choice indeed. I think you and I are speaking the same language. Tell me, if you're not planning on carrying out the mission that Mother Superior imparted on you, what are you here to do exactly? You can tell she's got like a knife, like inside the folds of her robe. She's clutching.
My mission is the same mission the Sisterhood has had, to bring about our own Watsetterik, unlike Moheim's, who wishes to bring about her grandchild.
You're mistaken. Mohiam's choice is not the true choice. We have the Kwisatz Haderach here on Arrakis. And if we get what we want, we will change the sisterhood forever. The schism was just the beginning. Now I need to know, before I can let you walk out of the sietch, she says, will you join us, or will you go back to Wallach and report back on the to Mother Superior?
I was to report back to the Mother Superior. I am so evident to betray, who has already betrayed us all. As I said, she has her own way. You say that the choice is already here on Arrakis, and you can't even see the choice that I brought.
And she's like, who did you bring?
You brought them right to the doorstep, and then you threw them in a cave.
The Duchess?
You really think she would be the choice?
I'm confused. You mean the boy? The boy. You're proposing the boy is the one?
The boy is my choice.
Mother Superior is irrelevant, as is the Order. Change is coming to the Sisterhood. You know this, right? It's inevitable.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Mohiam is no longer relevant to our choices.
I want to hear more of these choices of yours, Reverend Mother Norma. You intrigue me with your allegiances. Come, she says. She leads you behind the curtain. As you're walking back there, she tells you that there are other sisters, other rogue Bene Gesserit that have made their home here among the Fremen, and she's just one of many. So it seems like there's a network that was established here before the schism took place on Wallach. This goes a lot deeper than you thought. If you're planning on making, do you probe at that at all, or do you you skirt that in any way, or do you try to bring up something else in terms of conversation?
I skirt it because it's something that Norma expected. Just 5 on an entire planet? Yeah. Norma had a feeling.
There's a lot more than a few. Okay. So you just kind of play that for now. All right. Excellent. Back at the palace, the guild, one of the guild representatives says, "My Lady Eloise, it's not safe for you here. We should probably take you back to the embassy immediately. There's been a breach. Some of the Regis Familia has been taken."
Who?
The Duchess and the boy.
Ah, I see.
It's pretty obvious. Something happened. There are alarms going off and soldiers running this way and that.
Obviously, Eloise already knew, but she was just playing dumb for guild benefit.
Sure, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So come with us. We'll get you in a ground car and we'll take you to the embassy immediately.
Very well. Master Reed, would you care to join us?
Pardot, the marshal, looks around at his entire code red emergency. As pleasant as that may be, I seem to have matters to take care of here, but we will discuss business later.
Of course. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. So you start heading out, and you see a couple of the guild reps, security personnel, get you inside of this very heavily armored round car, and they set you off. Obviously, they don't feel that the palace is secure enough if they just took the Duchess and like one of the other members of the house. So they immediately whisk you off to the embassy. And you kind of feel like your heart pang for a moment because like you don't know if Amirah is up there in those ornithopters that are flying just over the shield wall. Is there anything you do or say on the way to the embassy?
I'll ask, are we dispatching any of our own to investigate this?
Oh no, Lady Cheshire, that would be the Harkonnens. And he like points up, and you see ornithopters flying in from Carthag.
Let's see. Do I have any way of getting in touch with anyone from Cheshire?
Probably not right now. I mean, the marshal, of course, yes. Everybody else's communicator was probably taken the moment they stepped inside that sietch, so probably not them.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Omelas was still back at the palace. He was supposed to be leaving. And Dr. Sloan were there as well, the Sook doctor.
Okay, I will take this moment to contact Pardot then.
Your communinet beeps.
Pardot answers.
Apologies for the disturbance, Marshal. I know you're quite busy. I just thought you might like to know that you might not need to worry because Harkonnen ornithopters are in the air now.
Wonderful.
I'm glad we understand each other. And then she'll end the call.
Do you communicate any of this to Tiberius and the other soldiers that are in the field, Pardot?
Pardot does, along with a request for an update for what's going on, and Tiberius simply says we're still searching while they have the guns trained on.
Still looking for him, boss.
Still looking.
Okay. Do you alert them though that the Harkonnens are on their way?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. What does Tiberius do in that instance?
Harkonnens are coming.
Mm-hmm.
He makes sure his communicator is not currently broadcasting what he's about to say next to like the troop right there.
Okay. You clear the dining hall.
I thought Tiberius was on the field.
Oh, sorry. Tiberius does this. Okay.
Tiberius is... So Pardot lets Tiberius know. Yes, the Harkonnens are coming.
Okay.
Tiberius turns off his communicator and gives the order to everyone around to advance. Just
advance
move
as
forward.
Towards
the Fremen.
Oh boy. Back in your ground car, Eloise, as you're making your way towards the embassy, one of the aides that are in the front of the ground car pulls out what appears to be like some sort of a display, and he seems to be looking in like this, and for the first time since you've arrived on Arrakis, you see satellite imagery of the planet, and he's sort of like he has a direct link, it seems, to the satellites that are now in the air overhead Arakeen. And he's like, I believe that they mentioned that they were just over the shield wall. I'm gonna go ahead and communicate this information to your palace. And he starts getting on the communinet.
Oh, excuse me. May I see that quickly?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you. I'm going to use it for very self-serving means to try and find Amirah.
Very good. Give me an understand roll.
Okay. Oop, that's Mirror sheet, not mine.
Minimum 2 successes.
Noted. Where am I? There I am. Oh, this is definitely This is probably power for me, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Got our faith. Faith can substitute for love.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do food. It's terrible, but it's probably more accurate. I don't think data analysis, Matt. What does data analysis count here?
No, this is all imagery.
Okay. Got it.
Just kind of like zooming in. 2 successes. Well then, you're getting a live feed on the shield wall, and you see a bunch of like troopers with weapons atop of a ridge as the sun is going down, and you see some you barely see the Fremen moving along the rocks, picking their way. And then you see like what seems to be a flash of color behind some of the rocks, and you can see that Amirah appears to be leading the Fremen away from the sietch of the, or at least what appears to be like an opening, or perhaps where they were originating from. That's what you can tell with that roll. So she's still alive. She seems to be like kiting them, for lack of a better term, away from their home location.
Okay.
Okay. Well then.
She'll hand it back after that.
Very good. And Amirah's doing a good job at leading them away, or they're splitting them up at least. Tiberius, you're going to proceed onto the Fremen. Are you going to fire immediately, or are you going to try to take them by surprise? Try to take them quietly.
Take them quietly.
Okay. I see a couple of guys nod at each other. They go down. There's at least 5 or 6 of them, and there's at least like 3 of the Fremen. Okay. The rolls were already made. You succeeded where Zoshir failed with the discipline rolls. So you do get to ambush. How would you like to proceed?
Oh God. Terrible rolls, Ambrose.
Take prisoners, and then ask questions. Not going for like lethal takeouts here.
Okay. You just
mostly like chokeholds or like
gotcha.
Shoulder locks, things like get them onto the ground, start asking questions.
I'm gonna roll for the house soldiers and the Fremen themselves here, since they are also scouts, just like Zoshir. So I'll roll, and they are doing their duty, as it were, and they get attacked. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice, and they don't get any focuses. They get 1 success. House soldiers attacking with blades, which is a specialty, doing their duty. Yes, I'm gonna say there's at least 2 with a focus. So this is actually 1, 2, 3 versus 1. Okay. So both the soldiers do an exemplary job of taking 2 of your soldiers captives, Zoshir. You see, these guys came out of nowhere. To your surprise, these soldiers, these outframe, got the drop on the Fremen. They came from above, and they just kind of dropped down. One of them who was shielded, used the shield and the kinetic energy, just bounced one of the Fremen to the floor, and then slowly like reached out and grabbed a hold of him, put his blade to their neck. The other one came down and just as the other one turned around, pulled his crysknife, got socked in the back of the head with the butt of a rifle, and like immediately took aim at him. And then Tiberius comes down himself and does make a roll.
Yeah, this is where Tiberius gets no successes and falls on his face.
Or
Zoshir, I would need you to make a battle roll, please.
Considering
your
Zoshir is a badass.
Matter what he gets.
Down with a short blade. 2
Ooh,
successes.
you need 2 successes. Actually, he's got a shield, I'm going to say. So you probably have to beat a 3. Or actually, he's attacking you, so you just roll to defend. So go ahead and roll battle as you normally would.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
No. Well, then. So.
I told y'all, I rolled too well last time. Something was gonna happen.
Tiberius, describe how you take Zoshir by surprise and take him captive.
Tiberius. We were dropping down, so Tiberius drops down, pulls out his. It was a slip tip knife. Pulls it out, and with one hand reaches around Zashir's neck, the other hand knife to the throat, and simply states, "I am Tiberius. Where is the Duchess?"
And on that note, we'll switch back over to Daphne and Massum inside the sietch. So you get brought into this room that is surprisingly more humid than any other part of the sietch. It feels weird, but your hypersensitivity, your hyper-awareness makes you notice these things as soon as you get moved into this room. The hoods are removed from the tops of your head, and you have to take a moment to just sort of adjust. It's a little bit more low lit than any other places you've been in so far. But to your surprise, you see what appears to be plants, greenery all around you. You just sort of, Massum is sort of surprised when he looks around and you can smell the moisture in the air coming from these plants. The Fremen, as soon as they remove your hoods, they just sort of aim the weapon, their Maul pistols at you, and they sort of walk away. Massum gives you a look that says, "Should I?"
No, not yet.
"Please," he says. "They will kill us."
They haven't yet.
He seems a bit impatient, but you can tell he's exerting all of his inner forces, his discipline, to try to control himself in the situation.
No.
Go ahead.
Their Bene Gesserit gave us a lot of information without meaning to. Someone is stealing our ornithopters, and they're using it to steal from the Fremen. This is a repeat of the conflict we had with House Carroll. And whoever's doing this, whoever's behind it, we don't want to fall into their trap. We didn't fall into the Carroll's trap, and we're not falling into this one.
As soon as you say that, in walks Norma and the Sayadina. "Which one is it?" "This one?" Points to the boy.
Daphne, as soon as this strange woman indicates Massum, will just put herself in between Massum and the Sayadina.
Okay. You see one of the Fremen gets a little jumpy. "Don't move," he says, holding his weapon. And the Sayadina puts up a hand. "It's all right. The boy," and she makes like a grunt, "he will come with us."
I'm
This
going
is not
to
a
look
question.
to Norma and blink out what's going on.
Norma's just going to put up the hand of, don't. I got this. I'll
She
tell
asks
you later.
Sorry, I asked one thing I forgot to ask as the Sayadina. What is his name?
Massum.
You say that, and you notice this, Reverend Mother Norma. She is surprised. She knows that name, and that's when she says, "The boy is coming with us. You may leave." Put a hood on her head and take her out of here now. Finds Zashir. They can take her back. Drop her off somewhere in the Imperial Basin. I don't care where. You see, Massum is a little bit alerted. He looks over at you, and he says, "Now, may I now, please?" He's asking for permission to use the voice.
I'll give a little nod.
He works up the courage inside of himself, and he's like, "I am not going anywhere with you." And he looks over at the Fremen soldier. "Drop the weapon." I'll roll for Massum. Communicate. 1, 2, 3 points of threat. Oh, okay. He'll use 3 points of threat. And he's going to roll communicate. And this is going to be rooted in faith. Because he does not want to be separated from his house. Oh, sorry. This he actually has a statement, which allows him to use a determination point if he needs to. Acceptance of place is the death of freedom. So he will roll duty, actually, and he will, let's see, Jesuit. Yeah, he will. He's gonna spend a point. So he gets 3 dice. So he's going to get at least 3 successes. 4 successes. Okay. Now I need to roll for the Reverend Mother. 1 second.
I mean, if they didn't know he was Mahdi before.
This
no,
will
this-
definitely cement it, right?
Yeah, that's part of this.
Here we go.
Just wow.
Discipline and composure the Reverend Mother has. So, and she has a different kind of faith, so 14. Okay, 14. Nice. Alright, that's what I thought. She's gonna get 1 for free. Well, she has discipline she has composure as a focus, so she has 4 successes that she just scored, matching Massum. So Massum can't get one over on the Reverend Mother. However, that Fremen warrior just goes, they both just drop their weapons and step away. They kind of like edge back, and you see she's like, "You fools!" And he reaches down, and now she actually gets down on his level, and she shakes off the effects of the voice, and she gets down right on his level and right at eye level with Massum. "Stop! Stop! You will need to come with me. I know who you are, and you will need to come with me now. There's no need for violence here.
Where are you taking him?
That is not for you to know, Outframe."
Are you taking him to his mother?
She just says nothing. She holds out her hand instead, and Massum reaches out and grabs a hold of her, like tentatively, just kind of like looks to you for guidance, Daphne. Should I trust her?
I would speak with Kyra as well.
You say that.
Mhm.
What do you know of that name?
If I know the name, then I know enough. If I know whose child this is, then I know enough.
She looks over to the 2 Fremen. Go, let's go. They're coming with us. You know where we need to go. So, yes, Saidina, of course. They nod. They start packing their things. Back outside, Tiberius takes control of the situation quietly with Zoshir and the other 2 Fremen soldiers. Meanwhile, Hurdy and the other ones are off away, like chasing after Amirah without realizing it. You have control of the situation, Tiberius. How would you like to proceed?
Tiberius says again, "Where's the Duchess?"
So Sheer is absolutely tight-lipped. He's not saying a thing.
Amirah, you've been leading these 2 or 3 Fremen around the side of the shield wall for a little bit now. They can't seem to find you, though. How do you want to proceed?
Once I'm sure that they have been fully bamboozled, I'll make my way back to where I want to go find the targets I'm after, the Duchess and Massum.
Give me a discipline check, and if you have alertness, this will count towards that.
I do not.
This is very simple.
Okay. I'm gonna. I think this is by power this time.
Okay.
Face, no focus.
2. That's 1 more than you needed because the Harkonnens are not very subtle at all. And this is why you actually see as Amirah, as you wait for the Fremen to go past and for an opportunity to go back to the mouth of the sietch, you see Harkonnen ornithopters flying in the distance, getting closer to the sietch wall. How do you respond?
I mean, she knows her duty, so she was given orders. She'll note it, but continue on her path.
Okay, you start heading back, and you notice that the Tiberius has things under control. He has a few Fremen already captured, and they're starting to move. I'm guessing back in. Are you moving them back into the sietch to go fetch Daphne?
Nope.
You
Not
encounter
allowed.
some resistance from one of the Fremen. The other 2 are compliant, and they look to you, Zoshir. They're like, they're gonna kill us if we don't cooperate. There's more of us than they are, and they speak in your language that there are more of us than there are of them there.
So if Amirah sees this situation playing out, she's going to drop down and reveal herself.
Oh, all right. Tiberius, somebody was stowing away, it seems. Remember that guard that was sticking like glue to that guild representative, the Cheshire? Well, she's here, knives and all. You never even noticed that she had stowed away on your thopter.
The Harkonnens
She just appears to be here to help.
The Harkonnens are here. So, Fremen, Cheshires, we can move now, or you can have fun with the Harkonnens. And then she's going to head into the siege solo.
Ballsy. Okay.
Eloise saying,
Amirah.
oh, sorry. At Amirah saying, Cheshires. So she's gonna just have this confused look on his face and then relent.
Okay. You're like, oh man, I let my guard down. How could that happen? And he starts like pushing you inside at gunpoint. And then as soon as this happens, Tiberius, you throw a glance over your shoulder, and sure enough, there's ornithopters buzzing in the air. They're moments away, so you and your troopers move quickly inside, just in time to see Daphne and Massum getting wheeled around the corner with the Sayadina and the Reverend Mother Norma and several other Fremen warriors, all armed. And a standoff takes place right in that hallway, with everybody pointing guns at each other, Mexican standoff style. I'm going to steal a rule from the Doctor Who RPG and say that talkers go first. So, who's doing the talking? Oh, and shooters go last. Daphne's doing the talking. Okay, let's make it good. What do you say?
Everything's fine.
The Duchess said, everything's fine. Let's carry on.
I don't take orders from Cheshires or Reverend Mothers. I act under guild orders, and I'm to bring those 2 with me. And she points to Daphne and Massum.
I'm not
Tiberius.
a prisoner of the guild. They're taking me to meet my father. What does the Sayadina say when I say that? Or what like the look on her face?
Give me a discipline observation, please. She is
Okay.
internally she is pooping her pants, but externally you can't really read a Reverend Mother like a book. They are sphinxes, famously.
All right, this will be truth.
Is that an open statement for the check?
Yes. Anybody wants to read her? You'd have to overcome 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
I'm not gonna bother rolling.
Oh, fuck me.
She is cold as ice. Just, you know, no response. Stoic as ever.
Fair.
The Sayadina supports your call for calm. How does Tiberius react to all of this, however?
Tiberius was going to go in guns blazing, but then hears they're taking me to see my father out of Daphne and is now trying to very quietly phone in Pardot, just like, we have a situation.
Yeah. And all this tenseness is in the air, and the Sayadina is like, we have to proceed cautiously now. We have to go now. And just as she says that, the front of the sietch explodes. Now we're going to switch over to for Leo, back on Jabberwock after the trip back from Gidi Prime. All right. So, your meeting with the Baron went very well, didn't it? You got to find out all sorts of interesting little things, like the fact that the Baron is very interested in House Cheshire and why they are so important to the Emperor.
You're correct.
He also seems to have aims on you as well. He mentioned that the Emperor, he's taken a very big interest in House Cheshire's recent acquisitions. With the House DUNE bar and what they've inherited thus far. He seems to be very interested in your military prowess, as it were.
Correct.
And that is kind of curious for you.
Oh, 100%.
You never... Oh, yeah. But you arrive on Jabberwock after this week-long trip to Gidi Prime with Yeva Schumann. Over the course of the trip, she told you that she didn't feel it would be a wise idea to not take the Harkonnens up on any sort of offer that they made you. And famously, the Baron did ask for your loyalty, which you begrudgingly said yes to. Like, you would agree to work with him. Am I reading that correctly? That interaction?
Loyalty?
Yeah, like
no, not loyal.
You obviously don't trust. Yeah, he told you that you don't trust him, and he said that was a very wise idea. Not to trust him, not to trust the empty hand.
No.
But he did feel confident that perhaps if you work together, House Harkonnen and House Librius in particular, that perhaps you might be able to get from underneath House Cheshire and pledge your house to a greater house. I see Yeva is like, I don't like the Baron. I don't trust him any more than you do. But if we stay on Jabberwock, we're finished. What do you suppose we should do? You haven't let me in on your plans. And out of character, you don't have to tell her your big secret plans. You can just say, I tell her the thing and I'll know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Because currently she doesn't know jack about what you're planning.
So I'm going to make sure. So where are we at? Are we in like is there anybody around us? Like, I want to make sure that there's literally no one can hear this.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you're you're back on Jabberwock, so you can go anywhere in the palace, activate a privacy field where no one can hear the sound escaping the chamber that you're in with Yeva.
Gotcha. So I would say I'd go to my own quarters.
Okay.
And I would say, Yeva, meet me in my quarters.
Right away.
And we'll have an interesting conversation.
She meets you there. She knocks on your door. Uses the palm lock, lets herself in.
Yep.
All right, Archibald.
I make sure that
we had this talk.
the cone of silence is on in the room.
Okay.
And I say, I know I've been very secretive about my plans, but I also know the more people that know about my plans means that's the more people that know. That means more people could get hurt.
I'm not afraid of getting hurt, Archibald.
Oh,
I've served Firos Drunenbar for decades.
It
Fought in all
also
his wars.
It also prevents people from slipping tongue. The less people that know.
Archibald, really? I thought we were.
And
I thought we were a thing. I thought we were a union.
And we are.
You and I. I thought you had some trust in me.
And I do, which is why I brought you here.
Very well then. Why won't you tell me what you're planning? Why won't you tell me what you spoke with the Tleilaxu about?
I don't plan on allying up with the Harkonnens. Because I know that's not the side that's going to win at the end of the day. This is what I'm going to do.
Can you tell her the plan?
I tell her a different plan.
Okay.
Whether you like to believe it or not, I got some inside sources into the Imperium. And I know who's going to be taking Arrakis. Obviously, I heard some news that there's going to be some ownership changes. And I know who.
How can you be so certain?
My contact was very, very reliable.
The Harkonnens have been on Arrakis for 80 years. The Imperial Edict is for 100. Why would Shaddam pull the Harkonnens out now?
Exactly my point. And that's why I was very puzzled. Yes, they are doing horribly. They're not doing very well. But on the other hand, it also didn't make any sense to who they were giving it to. Would you like to know?
Of course I would like to know. I'm here, aren't I?
They're giving it to the Atreides, the arch nemesis of the Harkonnens.
Duke Leto?
Yes.
Why?
And that is where I was puzzled as well. But
She sits on your bed. And she's just like, he's weak, you know, Leto. He's popular in the Landsraad, I heard. But he's weak. The Baron, despite all his issues, he's much stronger by far.
Yes. I wouldn't count ruling with fear as strength, in my opinion. I guarantee you you back him into a corner, he'll beg for his life like anybody else. Just like you, just like me, just like Leto. Now, like I said, I don't think, and especially with, you know how House Cheshire is, you know damn well they're not going to take the Harkonnen side. I guarantee you right now, they have the Freeman already aligned with them. You know how Daphne can be.
Indeed, I do. I suspect you should be in charge of House Cheshire, my dear.
I don't want Cheshire, whether you like to believe it or not. I would rather build.
You certainly want their legions, don't you? Look at what they have.
Yes,
They're
but I want
already
something
on
more.
Arrakis.
I want a legacy, not a house.
Oh, you want to grow House Librius? I understand.
More than that, and you'll know with time. I promise you on that one. I have big plans for this house and for the Imperium in general.
There's just one problem with your plan, General.
Oh yeah? What's that?
You speak of legacy, but you have no heir. She unclasps the top part of her uniform.
And you're completely right, Yeva. And that is when I will fade to black.
Very good. This is probably a good point as any to go on our short 10-minute break. The time is now 12:20 Eastern Standard Time. We shall return at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We left off. Our entourage, the majority of them, were inside a siege cave along the shield wall, and they were just running into each other on the inside. The house troopers that were sent to retrieve Massum and Daphne, and the Fremen who had recently found out that Daphne and Massum were the children of Kyra. At which point they decided, well, you can't stay here. We need to go now. Once they met with one another, there was a bit of a tense standoff, and then the entire mouth of the cave exploded as the Harkonnens opened fire from their ornithopters. Okay, combat has begun. A big dust cloud rolls into the twisting hallways of the sietch, covering all of you in dust and sand, and there's like a large shaking as the side of the shield wall is now getting peppered by Harkonnen missiles being shot directly at the sietch itself. Rocks are collapsing, people are screaming, and there's lots of movement going around as the Fremen are just realizing that they are under complete attack. We're gonna say, because I've got so much threat, I'm just gonna go ahead and spend 2 of it so that the Harkonnens go first. And they're gonna first move in after they bombard the entrance. One set of the Harkonnens rappel in with these suspensor platforms. So they basically just sort of float down from the ornithopter with weapons, bristling with weapons of all kinds. At least 1 or 2 of them are carrying las guns, big fuck off weapons whose beams can go straight through anything, cut it like a hot knife through butter. Dangerous when there are active shields about. Harkonnens don't seem to care, however. Over their comms, you can hear as the clash of thunder erupts at the front of the sietch, you can hear the Harkonnens yelling, "Kill them all except for the Duchess and the boy! For Raban! For the beast!" You hear. And they begin to move out into the sietch itself, killing Fremen immediately upon sight. Spread gunfire erupts in the sietch of Simpo Pions. I'm going to have them go first. I'm going to say that Tiberius and his troopers are closer to the entrance than the Fremen who are coming in from towards the entrance from the back. So you and your people are the first targets. Harkonnens open fire. Here we go. You get a specialty with rifles, which of course they're using. They are just working off of duty. They're gonna roll. Let's see. I'm gonna roll for a couple of them here. I'm gonna say that there's a group of like 5 in the entryway. It's a fire team. So I'm just gonna roll 5 dice, and they have focus with this, so they're just opening fire on everybody. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes and a complication. One of their guns jams, and they're just like, fuck, and like they just kind of slap it. They have to take out the charge cartridge and slap in another one. So I'm gonna say that guy just loses his turn, and you have to deal with 4 battle. So Tiberius, you and your soldiers are going to have to roll to overcome that barrage of gunfire. I'm going to roll for the house soldiers and see how badly they do. 1 shot, 1 kill. They too are rolling with wait a minute, that one just happened. They're rolling with duty. There we go. I'm going to say you have another 4 soldiers with you. Small team. So, and they are shielded, so they get +1, and they're using tactics, which they have a focus in. So they're taking cover and, trying to find a way to circumvent the Harkonnens and try to get them in a pincer attack. Let's see. Wow. Okay, your soldiers rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. So 1 more than they needed. Tiberius rolls 2 successes. Okay, so Tiberius takes -2 to battle, which means the Harkonnens are not only firing their rifles in these tight confines. They're also lobbing grenades and things like that. And so there's a flash or a burst of of explosives, and like you get hit with the kinetic energy and you go flying into the wall. Even with your shield on, it's like they just hit you for one. Actually, you get hit. Your battle goes down by one. It's not permanent. It's like just think of battle as like your hit points. When you run out of them, you're dead. Okay, so Tiberius takes a hit, and let's see. The soldiers manage to scamper to ground and get cover, while the Harkonnens are just firing in. But you take the hit for Daphne, Tiberius, and the Sayadine and everybody like to the back of the cave, to the back. I'm going to keep the initiative. Spend another 2 threat. And they're gonna go again. Well, not these guys, but the ones just outside are gonna go. And you see one of them comes in and opens fire at one of your soldiers trying to take them out. Let's see, this is a Harkonnen soldier. He's gonna roll battle. Yes, 1 with a focus. Bam. His gun jams. Fantastic. Okay. Now it is the allies' turn. We're gonna go with here. I think look at who has the highest battle.
Amirah has 7 as well.
7. Okay, Amirah. So Amirah, let's see where you're at. Amirah. Here we go. Add turn. There we go. All right, and Tiberius gets 1. What else do we got? Soldiers. Yeah, I'm gonna just put down Harkonnen soldiers. 1 and House Cheshire soldiers. Lysander's Queen's Hearts. They're gonna be here as well. Daphne and Massum. And I think you have the least. Massum has a 6, surprisingly for battle, so he's actually on par with the Harkonnen soldiers. And let's see. Also has 6 big odds. Okay. The Harkonnens already went, so I'm just gonna pass them over. Tiberius, what's your battle? 7?
Yes, 7.
Good. Daphne's got 4. Steve's got the 6. Okay. All right. So, from among you, we can say Amirah and or Tiberius can go at the same time. Now, if you want to keep the initiative after one of you goes, you can spend 2 momentum if you wish to do so. Handy dandy. You've got about 3 momentum right now. So you can use 2 points of that to keep going. Which one of you wants to go first?
I'll acquiesce to Tiberius here.
All right. What are we doing?
So Tiberius gets thrown back by the force of grenade explosions.
Yes.
He gets back up, grabs his knife, and begins to try and make his way around the firing squad so that he can come in from behind them.
Okay. Yeah. You with your squad going the other way, you can probably come in with a flanking maneuver. Okay. Excellent. If you have tactics, this will count towards your roll. Go ahead and roll battle. Oh, sorry. I should give you a option. If you want, you can elect to move subtly or boldly. If you want to move subtly, what it allows you to do, if you get 2 successes on a move check, it allows you to get into position, and you can move one of your forces, so you can have them take a turn essentially, or you can take an additional turn. So you can or you can you can give somebody else the turn without having to spend 2 momentum and let them go. So you can take your turn as normal, and if you wanted to do that. Otherwise, you can move boldly, which is the same outcome. Get 2 successes on a move check, and you force the Harkonnens to go a different way. That's one way that you can use the movement mechanics to affect tactics. Like, we cornered them, so they went. A bunch of them got scared and ran this way, which is exactly where we want them to go. Just as far as options go. If you just want to shoot somebody or shank them, go right ahead, though.
Tiberius would be moving subtly to get around, block the entryway, and do a sneak attack if the Harkonnens don't immediately turn around and try and run back out the entrance.
Very good, and they certainly are not currently. They think they have the upper hand. Go ahead and make a move check for me. You need 2 successes.
My focus in subtlety, not subtlety. My focus in stealth apply here, since it's sneaking.
Yes, sneak attacks, absolutely.
4 successes.
What? Oh shit. Okay, so you just earned back some momentum, 2 momentum. Very well done. And you get the drop. You are poised to strike now, and you don't have to spend any momentum additionally to let one of your other peers go. So if you want, you can give Amirah the turn now to act, and if you wanted to keep the initiative, you would then spend 2 momentum to have somebody else on your side go. Go ahead, Amirah. What would you like to do? Or whoever you want, really. You can pick whoever you want.
Pass it on to Amirah to keep the initiative. Yeah.
Amirah, you're up. What are you doing?
So, Amirah is closer to the entourage of Daphne and Massum than the rest of this, I assume.
A little bit further ahead, but not by much. You still are within striking distance, if you like.
She's going to look to Daphne and then in eye language communicate, like, are you actually not a prisoner here?
Status unclear.
She'll nod.
I'm Bavarian fire drilling this.
She's going to remove her personal shield and engage it and toss it forward and then move to leave with that entourage.
Oh, you're throwing your shield emitter to her?
No, not to her. I'm throwing it back towards the combat because you said they have las guns. So she's deploying the shield. Like, you're gonna use las guns? Cool, I can use that.
Blow us all up. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, she's going to throw it towards the fighting and then move closer to that entourage.
Interesting. Okay. All right, your round is spent moving. Did you want to spend the 2 momentum to have somebody else on your side go?
I would love to.
Okay.
Well, do I need to spend it to like have another conversational action?
No, you can have another conversational action.
Okay, unless Tiberius wants us to have the initiative again, I will decline and just vocally say, my orders are to make sure that the Duchess and her ward are safe by an agent of the guild, a navigator to be of the guild, and I will follow them to the whole entourage there.
Okay. All right, very good. Since the Harkonnens already went and they took the initiative, I'm going to give it over to Zashir. You and the Fremen warriors that are with you, Hurdy's actually out there still, but you and your 2 surprise Fremen warriors and some of the other ones that are around you are, like, they have their crisp knives out and they're ready to take Harkonnen blood. What would you like to do?
Take some Harkonnen blood.
Very good. Did you want to use any specific moves, or did you want to just rush in and attack?
I mean, rush in and attack sounds pretty good. Where are they all on the rock?
Yeah, you're all inside of the sietch right now. The Harkonnens are right at the entrance.
shit.
If you go a little bit further in, there's like a hub of hallways that all meet up like a junction. And that's where the explosion went off, and like you guys got rocked to your feet. But you're among the center of that crossroads now with the rest of these personages.
Is there another entrance that I could sneak out that might not be blocked off? And
Absolutely, and that is precisely where the Saiyidin was trying to take them before the Harkonnens attacked.
I think I will use that exit and kind of go. How to describe? Out and around behind the Harkonnens if possible.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
If not possible, let me know.
No, you can move. You know the sietch. Well, this is not your sietch. That is true.
This is not my sietch.
Hmm.
The situation is dire.
Although, Sheer should be able to at least see what direction the Saiyidin is going.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, she definitely knows how to get around here. So she knows all the little secret entrances and stuff, and that seems to be where she's taking everybody. If you want to go the opposite way and fight Harkonnens, however, you absolutely can. You're one zone away, so you can move and get into position so that next round you can strike, or you can make a move check for 2 successes and force the Harkonnens to move, so that they're mispositioned, as it were. If we want to try to catch them off balance.
I like that idea. I would like to try and
Excellent.
catch them off balance.
Give me a move check. You need 2 successes.
Is there anything I can use here? Probably not. That's okay. Well, would stealth? No, because I'm
If
seen.
you're moving boldly, probably not. But if you have tactics, it would apply. I would say.
Do not, sadly.
That's all right.
Oh!
2 successes. There it is.
Ooh.
All right. So you see them that they're kind of spread already thin. Like they have on one side of them Tiberius, and on the other side there's like a troop of soldiers like taking shots back and forth at them. You position yourself in some way to kind of split them down the middle, perhaps, and divert their attention or something. So you force, by moving up closer with your warriors, you actually force them to say, "Oh shit, the Fremen are coming right at us! Oh shit, back up!" Like some of them start backing out of the cave, and some of them start going off to the side to try to get away, give themselves a little bit of room. Okay, so you split them up successfully, and let's see, Amirah, Tiberius. Oh, the troopers are gonna go now. Okay. House Cheshire soldiers are gonna try to fight back. One of them is going to. Oh, a couple of them are gonna try to attack. 4. So there's 4 of them here. Fight. Yes. And they're gonna blades out. 1, 2, 3 successes and a complication. Okay. One of the guys' shield's emitter just fails as they're rushing the Harkonnens. So the Harkonnen like brings out his blade and just kind of like kicks him in the chest, and he bowls over. The other Queen's Hearts move in and with their blades and their shields on, and they start engaging the Harkonnens in melee. You hear like you smell the ozone in the air as their shields clash against one another. Okay, so that's 3 successes. The Harkonnens are going to roll their defense, and they are not good at this fighting. 5, 3, 4. They defend adequately. Yeah, really adequately. So you see, as your troopers are moving in, Tiberius, they've surrounded the Harkonnens, but they still are not under any sort of heavy disadvantage. Their shields are still operational, and they're engaged in melee. Let's see, Daphne and Massum first, and then Daphne. But I'll let you two both go at the same time.
So I just want to say something.
Mm.
Partly because I can't do it myself because they took my communet away, and also to flex on Isabel, I know more than you do, Bish, about the whole situation.
Okay.
So we established in game 1 that we built all of our ornithopters with suicide switches. So I'm gonna call out Norma, the House Cheshire suicide switches. And just
Norma.
trust she knows what that means.
Norma
Norma's like,
pulls the communicator out and just tosses it directly to Daphne.
Shit, I forgot about Norma. What is your battle, Norma?
My battle's 5.
That's okay. You go at roughly the same
Oh yeah,
time.
I know. It was gonna be the
I can't
same
believe I
exact
almost forgot
time.
Norma.
It's okay. I was just gonna wait until the end, and then I'm gonna be like, and now Reverend Norma takes her stealth action.
Plays it like Batman. Okay. Yeah. You see the Sayadina grabs Massum's hand, and drags him along to the side of the sietch, some sort of secret entrance apparently. So yeah, you make that communication with Norma. Norma, how do you react?
Norma will grab Daphne, hand her the communicator, and drag her along to said secret compartment in the sietch.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
Daphne will go along while, like, with the communinet, like, suicide all the Harkonnen ornithopters now.
Okay, that's interesting. I would, man, for that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty cool. Give me a. This is going to.
And in
Okay.
the back of her
you're-
head, Daphne's like, this is such a contract violation.
Give me an understand roll, which I'm sure you're gonna ace, but you also need to spend 2 momentum to create a trait for this, which is called suicide ornithopter controls.
Okay, I'll spend that momentum. I believe that brings us down to 1.
three.
No
No,
one
we-
used the previous 2, so actually you're
Oh.
still at 3.
yeah.
All right.
So you can spend some additional momentum if you wanted to go ahead and roll extra dice.
Yeah, I'll peel off 1 for some extra dice. And you said that was an understand?
Yes.
All right, I'll go with duty because upholding my... No, I'm not upholding my house. I'm breaking our word. I'm gonna shield those in my care.
There you go.
Justice.
That works.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What did you roll?
I'm clicking that right now. I don't believe I'm using a focus. No. This is not a focus roll. Oh god! 3 1s. 3 successes.
Wait, what?
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
just
yeah.
read the big ones, not the rolls.
That's okay. Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3 successes. That's good. Okay, that's more than enough. You create that trait, suicide switches. So you use the communinet and you tune into the frequency that you know is on every single one of the ornithopters that were constructed by House Cheshire, and you feed in the switch that will detonate the whole damn thing. Just like, okay, you're scrapped now. And just then the signal goes out and you hear like a explosion outside, multiple explosions, and just the sound of metal hitting the side of the shield wall and tumbling down into the Imperial Basin as 3 Harkonnen ornithopters simultaneously explode. Goodbye. Very cool. All right. Norma. Now it's the Harkonnens' turn. What's left of them? They are faced in every direction with enemies, and their backup just went kablooey. So they're not the most, shall we say, brave at the moment. However, they will fight for at least 1 more round and then keep the initiative to flee, like the cowards that they are. So, oh, and of course into radio reinforcements. Let's see. Harkonnen soldiers are going to open fire. Go 1. It's a fire team, so I'm gonna go 1 at a time here. 1 die. This That's a fumble. One of them drops his Maul rifle from the explosion, the sound of the explosion behind him. Let's see. Yes. No. Okay. Wow. My legacy of rolling terribly still succeeds. Okay, one of them actually manages to kill one of the troopers. Two of the troopers of your so you're down to two troopers left, Tiberius, as this one Harkonnen slams into one of them, slips the blade in between his kidneys and just twists the blade, and then you see as the other one is advancing on him, he uses the dead trooper's body as like a shield, throws him into him, and takes the advantage as he's knocked off of his feet to go in and quickly just wrap the blade around his neck and he just kind of like flicks the blood right off the blade. Okay, that was 1, 2, 3 Harkonnens. 2 more. Let's see. Duty.
One man wrecking crew right there, man.
Well, 2 of them, yeah. They're engaged in blades, which is not their special.
Make
That guy
Archibald
rolled a fumble. So yeah, these guys' las guns suck. Their weapons just keep breaking on them. They're like, ah. In this particular case, he's engaged in melee. So when he goes to strike at the other one, one of Tiberius's troopers blocks efficiently, gets in underneath the guard, and then just like grabs his arm and twists it, and he drops the knife. So he's disarmed. This other one, last one. Ooh, he did get a success. 3 of your wait, hold on. Let me go for your boy here. Duty, 1 die. Yes. That guy's dead too. Okay, so you're down to 1 soldier left, 1 trooper, Tiberius. Harkonnens have done a number on your group. They're going to go ahead and keep the initiative, and they're going to flee as much as they can. So they immediately start like just leaving the sietch as fast as their feet can take them, and start to try to pick their way down the side of the shield wall. One of them, you can hear him yelling into his communinet, "We've been overrun! Something happened with the Thopters! Send more help! Send more help!" Immediately, somewhere in Arakeen, like the Harkonnen garrison there is like, "What the heck is going on up there? Go now! Where should we go? Follow the trail of fire, you fools!" Oh, okay. Get the ornithopters and start taking off. More Harkonnens are incoming. Spend another threat point for that. They all start fleeing, so they move 1 zone away from where you are currently. Amirah, you want to go after some Harkonnens, or are you going to try to retreat back into the siege?
Oh, no. Since I previously moved towards Lady Daphne and that entourage, communicator. I want that communicator.
Okay. Very good.
She'll ask first. Lady Daphne, may I? Pointing to the communicator.
Delete, 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 delete. Yes.
Thank you. And then she's going to make contact with Eloise.
Ah. Does she just tell her like very quickly what's going on, or
yeah? I'll save role playing with myself.
Of course.
But they're both going to exchange information. I think after the quick exchange, Amirah is going to turn and just let to the entourage there. Satellites are in the sky now. Is there someone who speaks for the Fremen here?
Very good. Okay. Amirah, Tiberius.
Tiberius rushes over to the one member of his team who's still alive. Just starts asking, "Are you okay? Are you all right?"
Hold on a second. I completely. 1 second. What's your battle, Ambrose?
That is 6.
X. Okay. 1 moment.
Something tells me he's fine.
You go right at the same time as the Queen's Hearts. Perfect. All right. Sorry, Tiberius. Continue.
Yeah, Tiberius rushes over to the one soldier who's still alive after the Harkonnens took out the rest of the squad. Are you okay?
Yes. I'm all right, sir. They got Jimmy. God. Are there more
Got Jimmy,
of them?
Ohio. He was a good man.
He was.
I'll request an extraction team.
Oh my god.
He pulls out a firearm and he just starts shooting at the mouth of the cave, or at the mouth of the cave down towards the Harkonnen. So he's like shooting at them as they're trying to get away. There's too much debris and there's too many rocks and stuff in the way. However, there is something on the other side of that shield wall, and that is the Hurdy and her Fremen troopers. And now it is Zoshir's turn. Sorry.
All right. Time to stabby stab.
Stabby stab. All right. You can probably advance on one of the Harkonnens, which is right nearby, and attack them. Go ahead.
That sounds
Full
delightful.
battle. This is delightful, yes.
Let's see here. Do
He
I
tries to
need?
defend. He's not very good. I'll throw in an extra point of threat, though.
Chris Knife
Defending
Master.
Because he knows who he's up against. So he's gonna roll 2 dice.
There's shoot. Devin, remind me.
Chris Knife Master lets you get the
Generate
point of
momentum with every
so that you
successful.
basically,
Bruh, you only have to beat a 1.
Using focus.
I'm rolling terribly this
speed.
evening as usual.
Oh shit!
2 successes. Wow.
plus the
How much
3 for the
momentum?
knife.
Oh yeah,
oh
plus the
yes.
three for the
So 5. So you got it by 4, which means you're full of momentum right now. Describe how you dispatch one of these fleeing Harkonnens.
Oh, they're fleeing?
Yeah, they're running the
delightful.
fuck away. They know when they're surrounded. Their backup just went kablooey. And they're having to call in more reinforcements.
There's that much momentum. You know what you have to do.
Take the initiative for us.
Wait, what?
You can spend 2 after your
Thump.
turn and keep the
Thump.
initiative. Somebody else on your side can go.
Oh shit. Okay. Gladly. Dispatching this Harkonnen looks like Zoshir running up and kind of parkouring off of the side of the cave wall and landing.
They're moving outside, so you're pursuing them
shoot.
out into the evening, into the night air. So as you I would see you running up a rock and then just jumping off and.
Yes, and so Zoshir will do that with running up a long rock and landing in front and just jamming the Chris knife right up in that there.
Perfect.
Running up that rock.
You jump right on top, and he's like, whoa! He puts his hands up. He's got the shield shimmering around him, but you don't care. You just go right up into his jawline, twist the blade, and he's like, oh! Slides right off your blade. You have taken his water. Okay, good job. I'm gonna spend that momentum so somebody else can go. Who do you want to go next?
Who has an idea?
What's left so far for this round? We've got Massum, Daphne, and Norma.
Daphne has blown her wad. Her plan now is to just get her and Massum safely to wherever the Saiyajin is leading them.
Well, let's give Massum an opportunity.
Massum, all right. Massum steps up. Let's see. So, well, the Sayadina leads you all towards this secret passage towards the back, and it's like a very cramped space that you have to basically just get to your side and just kind of like ease along these walls that are like right in front of you and right behind you. You can't go sideways normally. One person can barely fit down this little crevasse that leads out into the night air. A very clever looking secret passage, but he does do his best to try to get through without any problems. So he's gonna make a move check, and as long as he makes 2 successes, he should be fine. Otherwise, he's gonna get stuck. Come on, Massum, where you at? There you go. Okay, move check for Massum. He is getting the fuck out of here. So he's rolling 2 dice. Body control. That's exactly what he needs. 2 successes, right on the money. Yeah, without a problem. He slides through and he maintains control. And at some point, like he jumps up and he puts both legs on either side of the wall and he kind of shimmies over. And the Sayadina is like there, and there's like a seal there that she undoes and like it swings open on a hinge. And there's like a hissing sound as like you hear and you feel the night air just like rushing into that tight, cramped corridor. Massum slips his way out. Daphne, make a move check.
Alright, for Prada Bindu.
Yeah, don't forget you can reroll.
Shit. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go with power for this one.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Alright, I gotta roll that 1d20.
Go ahead.
2!
I think that's is that you have a focus for that? For body control or something like that?
I should, but I don't. I have a focus for body language. That's not a move focus anyway. My move is terrible. It's 4.
That's okay. You still made it. So you have, 2 successes, which is exactly what you need. So you're out of the siege as well. The Sayadina does this with her eyes closed. So you're out. Norma, give me a move check, please.
Alright, before Norma lets the Sayadina go through, she's gonna tell her.
She goes last.
Alright, have someone get rid of the doctors.
Check.
And I'll use discipline for my body control.
Okay.
So 3 successes.
Perfect. Good lord. All right, so yeah, you gained this momentum back. You all slip through without any problems at all. The Harkonnens are in the wind, and Zoshir, just as you're exiting the cave, you see some of the other Harkonnens are set upon by Herdy and her warriors as well. They just sort of like they were behind looking after Amirah and lost track of her, but then they proceeded to ambush the Harkonnens on their way out, and they quickly do away with them. Before the other Harkonnens can arrive with reinforcements, though, they make themselves scarce, and they're like, "There's more on the way! There's more Harkonnens coming from Arakeen! They just dispatched several other more Thopters from their garrison. We need to go. We need to leave our siege." Or we need to leave the siege.
All right. Let's follow where the Sayadina went with the Duchess of House Cheshire.
Aye. Sheathes her bloody crysknife. The rest of the warriors trudge up the shield wall rocks and go right into the siege with you. You see them get through, and you know your way around the rock so that you don't have to go through the secret passage or whatever, now that you have a little bit of time after the Harkonnens have dispersed. So you make your way around. You meet them on the other side. the Sayadina and Jawid, the Naib here, they pick their way down the rocks. Jawid's like, there's going to be more Harkonnens here. I need to evacuate my people and get them out of here. Take the Thopter and get them out. You know where to go. And she's like, I do, Longinus says. Parked just outside of the sietch along the shield wall, it almost looks like a rock covering, but it's actually a tarp. She goes over, she unfurls it, and sitting there is a very small, very modest-looking, dusty Thopter. And it doesn't seat many, but there are just enough here where the Sayadina, Norma, Massum, and Daphne can fit inside. Normally you could seat like 6, but this is a little bit smaller, a little bit more modest. Economy size. So there's only 4. Tiberius and Zoshir, as you both sort of emerge in your own way from the sietch, with a call for more Harkonnens coming, Daphne, the Reverend Mother, and the Sayadina, along with Massum, are boarding this ornithopter towards the base of the rock wall, and they appear to be in a hurry. What are you doing? You gonna radio back home?
Tiberius is trying to get in contact with Pardot and anyone else at the palace, requesting an
Okay.
extraction team.
Can Amirah, as the Sayadine is boarding, probably just gathering like, oh, you're in charge. Hand over the communicator net that she just used to communicate with Eloise. Like, you'll want to talk to this one. This will help with the Harkonnens.
Who are you referring to?
Eloise is on the other line of that call.
Okay.
And
You get in contact with
Daphne?
Eloise?
No, the Sayadine. She wants to talk to someone in charge of the Fremen.
Mm-hmm.
She's been apprised of the situation and what's going on, and the reason the Harkonnens were able to find you.
You give her the communion net for Eloise?
Yes.
Who is this?
My name is Eloise Cheshire, not of House Cheshire. I'm a representative of the guild. I'm aware of the situation. Satellites are in the sky because the bribe is missing. However, I think we can be of help to one another.
I'm listening.
Excellent. I have a bit of standing in the guild. I can make these satellites disappear, and your movements will be invisible to the Harkonnens once more. I ask only a couple things. Are you
What do
willing
you
to hear
want?
me? Excellent.
Yes.
I want your guarantees. I want you to spit on the ground right now that Duchess Daphne and Massum will not be harmed.
I don't have to give up my body's moisture to promise you that they will not be harmed.
Excellent. The other thing I ask is a down payment from the Fremen, with the promise that once it's found who stole the bribe, they will be responsible for the payment this time.
She looks over at Zoshir, and it's like, the Fremen have already begun looking for the spice bribe, and if we are unable to find it, we will at least provide the guild adequate payment to get these satellites out of our skies.
I'm offering to do that now. For a down payment you can pay now. Is that something you can offer?
Yes.
I'll communicate so. Make sure my representative, Amirah, returns to me safely, or this entire deal is off. And then she'll kill the call.
She looks at Amirah after
Savage.
getting off of the communicator, and she's like, the guild is a harsh mistress indeed. Very well. We have a deal. We have an accord. I will make sure that these two are safe for now. Zoshir, take this one. Find the spice bribe, whatever you can. Stay in contact with me. If you are unable to do so, if you're not able to attain what we have lost, then we will move on to the next phase of our plan. So there is a backup plan, apparently, if the bribe was never found. I go now to take him to the master, she says, and gets into the thopter, starts it up. Tiberius, you are left with Zoshir and Amirah. Your thopters are that way along the field wall where you abandoned them before you went on foot to ambush the Fremen at the siege. So technically, you have a way out of here. You just got to do a little bit of climbing.
So Tiberius looks to Amirah and nods, points up towards the thopters on the hill, turns to Zoshir. I did not get your name earlier.
I suppose you've earned it. Zulshir Tamir. And you?
I am Tiberius. Do you like to come with us, or are you safe here on the ground?
Oh, I'll be quite safe.
Right.
Zoshir, you know you can disappear in these lands anytime you want to. The only trouble right now is that you have no ride out of here. Our Harkonnens did a nasty job on any of the ornithopters that were out front. Remember where you landed initially? All that's gone. Exploding Harkonnen ornithopters and all that. So you have no way out of here currently. At least no way to move quickly. The commander here has a thopter of some sort. You know that some of the other Fremen that were with you when you lost the spice bribe went to different areas. One set went to Carthage, the other city on Arrakis, and the other set went to the South Pole, polar regions where the smugglers are located. They should have been back by now. They should have been able to make contact with you, but they have not.
Zulshir will. I'm gonna keep that response of, oh, he'll be fine, and then he'll just take a second and look around, heavy sigh, or on second thought, I haven't heard from my people that are pursuing those who've stolen the bribe. If you could help me track them down, I would be appreciative.
Tiberius, you've learned a lot here today. Number one, the Fremen have a secret accord with the Guild just to obscure their movements in the desert. Number two, they lost that bribe recently, and there will be hell to pay if it is not returned to the Guild. You just saw this, witnessed this, within the last 5 minutes. There's currently some empty seats on your thopter after, 4 of your 5 troopers are dead. You've got 1 trooper left, and Zoshir has a dwarf Fremen with her and 2 other warriors as well, who can
Fill those seats.
Fill those seats, exactly. However, it sounds like Zoshir may want to do a little bit of a U-turn. Instead of going straight for the palace in Arakeen, it sounds like he wants to go somewhere else. Do you acquiesce with this request? Message Pardot, or what do you do?
Pardot. Okay, so Tiberius sends a message to Pardot, just like a quick.
Yeah.
Still searching for the Duchess. All seems well so far. We'll keep you updated, and just leaves Pardot hanging there in the palace.
Okay.
As Tiberius and his own little entourage here go on a trip around Arrakis to help Zoshir.
You get part of that message out, and the rest is scrambled. You know
Oh,
this
no.
because what you see when you're talking over the communinet, you're speaking in battle language, house battle language. So you're like, getting this message out in like short bursts. But you hear there's like a crackling on the communinet, and you can hear other battle language interfering with that Harkonnen battle language. So it seems that as they're getting near, your comms are starting to get jammed. So you get part of the message out, and you're like, "Shit, I can't call out anymore." Amirah, you see the soldiers in the front here are forming some sort of a cadre to perhaps go off and find this spice bribe. Do you go with them, or do you like disappear?
Oh no, she's gonna go with him. She has learned of the whole situation now via Eloise and everything that's transpired. It's like, yes,
Let's go get the spice
I
bribe.
already
Alright.
had a spot on the thopter anyway, technically.
Excellent. So you jump on board, climb up, get in the thopter, and wait for the Harkonnens to pass before you lift off and go the opposite direction towards the South Pole. All right, Daphne. The ride over is quite long. I mean, it's already nighttime, and it takes quite a while to reach your destination. Just double check the
So,
location. Yes.
I would like to make eye contact at some point with Massum, and just blink out to him. She's alive. And the expression on her face is, I'm happy for you.
He has this look of disbelief, but like you can tell he's no longer in control of his emotions, and he is actively like crying. He's trying to hide the fact that he's crying, but he's just overwhelmed with emotion at the thought that his mother could actually be alive.
I'll do my best to like, if no one objects, just like put an arm around him, and like maybe like tug the scarf, the veil down a bit, so he can like. I'm not crying. I'm fine.
Excellent. 1 second, because we're jumping ahead a little bit more than I anticipated. 1 second.
Victory.
If it helps, I have plans that Eloise would like to do.
I'm sure you do.
To the crying Massum, Norma gives the alright, fine, and hands him a little cloth so that he can cry into his own.
He just wipes his tears and tries to put on a brave face, Good Lord. I lost it. Okay, 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Sahaya. So, perfect. All right, so you see where this is? This is Sympopyons. This is one of the many sietches that are hidden from your view on this map. If you notice, it is just to the northeast of Arakeen, and to the northeast of, northwest of Arakeen, northeast of Carthag.
Oh,
You go this way and stop there, and goes it's quite a bit of. It's several hours, right?
Oh,
Until
I
you
love
reach
this map.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Let's see. Oh, shit.
This is a really good map.
Head to this place that the Saidina takes some sort of a recorder or something like that. She says something into it, Sahaya Tabur, and the console repeats what she says, and you see the thing starts heading out that way. You fly for a good long while, and eventually you arrive in the dead of night in the sietch along this what seems to be a very large island of rock in a sea of sand. When you land there, you're greeted by Fremen warriors with masks over their mounds and jubba cloaks, weapons at the ready. They see to the Saidina gets out, and they tend to each one of you. They almost treat you like royalty as you step off of the Thopter.
Good.
Yeah, it's unexpected, that's for sure. As they do so, they bring you up what seems to be like a rough path that goes up and into this Fremen sietch that is just sort of like out of sight. Let's see if I can give you a decent view of that. Oh, here it is. No, I do have it. There we go. Kind of looks like this. This very large opening. You see bats flying out of it as you're moving up. It has a sort of creepy quality to it. You see this as well, Norma. The Saiyadina is almost visibly shaking with fear. Only you can sense this, Norma. She's very nervous about coming here. Eventually, you get brought in, and immediately upon entering into the seat, you smell unmistakably the scent of melange in the air, and mixed with like incense or something like that, swirling around the basis of the sietch. People, even at night, seem to be milling about. The Fremen seem to be active most at this time. Some of them look like they're going on some sort of a pilgrimage, or they're going out on a ride or something like that, but their still suits are at the ready, and they're looking like they're about to leave just as you arrive. They look to Massum and they look to you. And it's almost like that slow motion scene in the movie where music's playing and nobody says anything. As you're just sort of walking by these Fremen being led to this massive chamber where the scent of melange is that much stronger. Eventually, they bring you in, and there's somebody sitting in a chair all the way to the back of the chamber. It's a very elaborate looking chair. Let's look in here and get the image for you. One second, I have to find a very important image.
Oh no.
Regardless, it's somebody sitting in a chair, and they appear to have like very ornate looking clothes, Fremen robes of some sort, and they have what is very easily identified as an Ixian mask that obscures their identity. Saidina stands at the doorway and sort of bows. Master, we have brought you some guests, some rather unexpected guests from House Cheshire. The person sitting in the master sitting in the chair inclines their head and makes a simple motion. Let them speak. Let them come forward. Massum looks to you, Daphne. Norma.
Daphne is going to gently put her hand on Massum's shoulder and to the figure say, I would like to know who you are first.
An old friend. Someone who loves you.
If I see your face, I'll know that for truth.
What you see with your eyes can always deceive you. What does your heart tell you, child?
Is there a roll I can make for this?
That would be a discipline check to read movements, study body language.
Okay, would an observe focus count?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. I will spend a point of momentum because we have it to burn.
Okay.
Two successes.
That's quite good. 1 second, I need to make a secret roll.
Re-roll one of those. It's a discipline.
Oh,
Kind of
You can assist.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll assist.
okay. It's a 16. It's no better.
Oh,
Hmm.
I will assist then. Let's figure out the truth.
Second. Ha! Well, you would by assisting, you would roll 1 die.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
I'm just gonna take that.
2
second roll as the
successes
one.
is exactly what you needed, Daphne. There's something about the gestures when they're sitting in the chair, when they motion for you like this, that seem very oddly familiar. Like maybe you've seen these gestures, this person in a dream before. Come, child. Let me have a look at you. And you see the Saiyadina like makes this motion like, go. The master asks for you to step forward.
It's not my master. But I will step forward and allow Massum to come with me.
Massum is just like, is this really happening? You
It's
see,
okay. Be brave.
as soon as Massum steps forward, he puffs his chest out and he tries to maintain his composure. The form stands up from the chair and steps forward to you. Massum, Daphne takes off the mask to reveal Kyra Iasi Perino. My children, she says. Welcome home. Your reaction, Daphne?
I think at this point, Daphne also starts tearing up. It's good to be here, and it's good to see you. I think we have a lot to talk about.
We most certainly do, she says. And she gets down on one knee, and Massum gives her this huge hug, And that's where we'll stop for right now. We'll switch over to Leo on Jabberwock. Okay. The next morning is always different for you, isn't it? It just feels weird. It just doesn't feel right. Something about Yeva Schumann. You can't put your finger on it. But there's something about her. There's something about her mind. But maybe she has these machinations that are going on in the background without your notice of them. She's planning something. Question is, are you going to be part of that plan or not? She leaves first thing, before first light, and you're left to your own devices. There's a lot of banging on the door, however. My apologies, sire, one of your pages says. There's been a request for you on Kaitane by the Landsraad.
I'll be right up.
I suggest you read this immediately, sir. He hands you this scroll, very official, gold foil. with a seal on it. The Emperor's seal on it.
Well then. Well, looks like we got something. I'm gonna call Yeva up.
You
Or
see
go
the
to
page
her.
is like, oh, she is a bit indisposed at the moment, sir. She's out reviewing the troops and this military equipment out on the fields currently. There are problems in Calais City, as you are well aware. The protests still continue. You've seen the signs and the banners, I'm sure. They're not fond of Duchess Daphne here.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Not
it
wrong.
might be wise to make an address to them. Oh, also, I have been informed to tell you that Advisor Omelas will be arriving in Jabberwock within the week. Did you want to wait for him before you go to Kaitain, or did you want to make immediate plans to leave?
I'd like to wait for him. And then we will
Yes,
leave. I'd
of
also
course.
like to address my people as well.
Oh, very good, sir. Yes, of course. I shall make it. When did you want to make an announcement?
Obviously, some time calls for desperate measures at this moment.
If you say so, sir. Yes, of course. As soon as possible, then. Yes. Turns around, leaves. He orders around some other people in the hallway, like, oh, get the podium ready. Yes, make the announcement. We're going to make the announcement soon. I don't know, in a few hours. Yes, get them ready. Go, go, go. You unfurl the scroll. It's addressed to you by Imperial retainers of House Corino. You are being requested to appear before the Landsraad, specifically to give your account of what happened at the Battle of Jabberwock. They've already assigned a judge of the change for the particulars that took place on that day with regards to House Carroll's vendetta with House Cheshire. They want to know how it went down and how you factored into the whole thing. Because
Okay.
obviously, several houses fell that day, which means they have a whole mess to sort through in terms of like who gets what and what gets distributed to the Landsraad. So they want to have your personal eyewitness on what happened that day. This is a pretty big deal.
Oh,
All the houses of the Landsraad will be present there, and the Emperor himself will be presiding. Okay? So
okay.
you have some time to prepare for that. You have about a week before Omelas arrives. He can advise you on what to say and who to say it to and so on. Any behind-the-scenes meddling and stuff like that, he can assist you with that. Now, as for your speech, what are you going to say to the people of Calais City exactly? When it's time, there's a big podium and big banners overhead, and you're obviously in a position of way above the populace that are below you, like protesting with their banners and stuff, and like burning the royal family of Cheshire in effigy, like those fuckers abandoned us. What the fuck is this? Save us. They obviously favor you over the Duchess, and they blame her for abandoning them and all that other stuff. So you have an advantage when it comes to giving some sort of an address to them. You could use this opportunity to rally them behind you, to whip them into a fervor if you wanted to bolster your forces, if that was your intent, or there's any number of different things you can have them do.
So
You have an idea of what you're going to say?
Yes, I do.
Very good.
Citizens, what was the city's name again?
Calais.
Calais. Citizens of Calais, I understand that this past 2 years has not been easy for us. We have went through everything. We went through hell and back. We have survived great challenges. And I know for a fact we're going to survive more because as people, we are hardened. We are tough. We do not quit. So, but still pose the question, what are we going to do next? We are going to rebuild. That is what we're going to do. Once we are done, we will go to Arrakis.
Arrakis! Oh, they all like get, excited about the prospect of Arrakis, Melange, Solaris. Lots and lots of money. So you make
Agreed.
them this promise that after the rebuilding takes place on Jabberwock, that House Librius going to Arrakis?
Yes, I will be going to Arrakis. For you.
And you see some of your sycophants are just like, Lord Librius will go to Arrakis for the people of Jabberwock, and he will liberate all from oppression. And we will have enriched our lives here, enriched with spice. And you see the throngs gather, like, yeah, like they're pumped up from everything that you did on the battle for Jabberwock. Like they're obviously in awe of you. The white rabbits are present, and they're like shooting into, not shooting into the air, but like pumping their fists and like raising their weapons and stuff like that. You don't have prescient vision, but this is definitely the beginning of something big.
And I'm gonna close it out with this.
Mm-hmm.
I will not leave you until everything has been made right.
There's a big cheer that goes up, and they start chanting your name, like, Lord Librius, Librius, Librius. And you think, oh shit, what have I done? In a small part of your mind, you're like, am I doing the right thing? What have I done? Second here. I'm gonna switch over to Ambrose and Zoshir, Tiberius and Amirah aboard the Ornithopter as you're making your way to the south polar regions of Arrakis. I'll show you where you're going. So you're going to 2x, the Bon 2x location. Here we go. Right there. See where it says Smuggler Camp and 2x Water Mine? That's where you're going. This is a long ride, so by the time you actually arrive here, it's actually well past night. Like the dawn is just moments away as the ornithopters are coming in. I need you to make a communications check, to which all of you can contribute inside. Norma, Amirah, Zoshir, and Tiberius. However, I need one of you, perhaps the best at speaking, to make the communication roll. Everyone else will be assisting by rolling 1 d20 on their communications.
Yeah, communication, not Amirah's strong suit. So I'll contribute.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a 5 in communicate.
I got a 6 with focus as long as we're lying.
Okay. Tiberius?
Got a 5 in communicate.
So Norma sounds like the lead here. Unless some of you have deceit as a focus.
That is
which
my
case...
deceit focus.
Oh, perfect.
If
So
only-
you're gonna
if-
lie about it.
If only Eloise was there.
Yeah. You proceed. Go ahead and make the initial roll. You have quite a bit of momentum. So if you wanted to, you could spend 1 to get 1.
If
or
we're assisting, do we still pick a drive and everything?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'll wait until I see
Tiberius
what
just
everyone else
contributed
gets
1.
to help before I see how much I'm going to spend.
Oh no, I got a 20. Terrible.
Oh,
You're like interjecting, like, we're just here for the bribe or whatever, and they're like, what? What's that? So Sheer rolled a 2 and got
Woohoo.
1 success. All right, so that's 2 so far. Norma, go ahead and roll your communicate.
all right. So I'll spend 1 momentum, so I have 3 dice to spend. 3 dice for this.
Okay.
And you said I get to use my deceive?
Yes, you. Well, if you're lying about why you're there, you're making contact with Tuek and his 2X smugglers on the South Polar region. So you can make a communication SMAR2X, excuse me. You can make a communication test, difficulty 3, to convince them that you and your people are there for anything other than looking for the spice bribe.
Okay, actually, we don't really need to worry too much about that. But yeah, anything other than the spice bribe. So I'm lying. Oh, goody! 3 successes.
3 successes, very good. All right, so you got a total of 5, which means you get 2 momentum back. Very good, very well done. And let's see, did you want to spend any of that momentum to get additional information? Cost of 1 point.
Let's say
You can ask me one
question.
question. Yeah, so basically, if you burn 1 momentum per question, you can ask me questions about the situation. I have to answer honestly.
Anybody got ideas to ask?
What the fuck? What the
You
fuck?
have
And what the
you have-
goddamn fuck?
you have 5 momentum right now in your pool. So I'm giving you the option if you wanted it.
Ask for all the details.
Well, you have to be specific. You have to ask a question.
Asking for factions
No.
would be useful.
Hmm.
To know if there are any sort of like just by picking up on like sigils, banners, badges on people's sleeves, like if there's any sort of factions and how they might be getting along, that would be good to know.
Mhm.
Do the Fremen look poor or wealthy here? Is there any Harkonnen presence? Is there any presence that is not Fremen and not Harkonnen?
Those are all great questions. Norma and those involved, you have the option to ask those questions for 1 momentum each.
Sorry, I was trying to be
do so.
helpful. I didn't mean to
No,
overstep.
No, you're good.
No, you
Okay.
did. You did
No,
great.
Okay.
Question
Perfect.
1 for 1 momentum. What factions are here?
Yes.
The smugglers and the Fremen.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question for
I
Norma.
assume
sorry.
question 2. Sorry, go ahead.
Water Sellers Union. Those groups are here because they're mining water from what little is left of the South Polar regions on Arrakis.
Okay.
If there are smugglers, Norma, you should ask if you recognize anything from Davos.
True. Anybody we would know from Davos?
What do you tell? First, I want to know what Norma tells them. Like, hey, we're here looking for a friend, or we got lost, or we need to refuel. Whatever you want to tell them.
Actually, this is a perfect thing. We're searching for Davos.
Davos, that old sand dog. Oh gosh, I think he went looking for some treasures or something like that. Though some old Richezian vaults that were lost out in the deserts 100 years ago or so. Anyway, you know Davos.
Of course, I know Davos. Man,
Oh.
you threatened to space me multiple times.
Come on down, mate. Have a seat. We're glad to see you. As soon as you land, they're like, "Yep, that's one of those Cheshire thopters right there." He points to the symbol on the side of the thopter. The same thing he was flying. We saw a couple of those out this way recently.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch who was driving them?
Can't say I have. But I'll tell you this. There was a Fremen among them. Native. Just like this one over here. He gestures towards Zoshir.
Just stare at Zoshir for a second. Huh.
You know the Fremen who came out to the South Polar regions by herself is Nelia. That was her name. She was pretty quiet, scars, you know. So she was pretty confident being able to track down the people who stole the spice bribe. She obviously hailed from your sietch, so you wore the same color scars and so on.
Do you know where they went?
What's that? Oh yeah. About a day or so ago, they went that a ways. You know where the extinct volcanoes are.
Amirah will step forward. How sure are you of that?
I mean, you might be able to jog my memory.
Of
It's
course.
kinda
So reach into like the folds of her scarves and such and pull out. I assume spices the currency here.
Always.
Yes.
We got plenty of water. Points
Oh.
over to like where they're mining it.
So those cheers like clenched fist by his side, like that one meme.
So yeah, just slides a little melange. Please elaborate.
Well, there was this one fella, great looking mustache, and he was flying the ornithopter with this Fremen bird, but she didn't look like she was really along for the ride, if you know what I mean. I think she might have been, I don't know, purchased or captured. Don't know. She didn't look happy, though. No Chris knife. I did notice that. It was a bit odd.
Amir will turn to look at Zoshir.
What in specific might this mean to Zoshir?
Give me an understand roll. Difficulty 2.
It always pains me when I can't use my highest drive.
Use momentum. We have so many, and the
Yes,
night's
we have
almost
plenty.
done.
Yes, and you can use truth for this, actually. If that helps.
All right, I will do that. Having brain fart momentum is extra dice.
Yeah, if you spend
Okay.
1, you get an extra dice to roll.
Okay, that is what I shall do.
Excellent.
Ah!
Now, you can, if you have a statement for your truth, you can spend a point of determination and turn one of those dice into an automatic 1, giving you 2 extra successes.
I do have a statement for truth, and it is the greatest truth is destiny.
Perfect. All right. If you wish, you can spend a point of determination and win
And I
this
shall.
challenge. Excellent. This salty sand dog in front of you with the eye patch and the long hair and shit. He's a skeezy motherfucker, but more than that, he's got something sticking out of his backpack on the other side of his still suit. It's the same kind of I just said it. I just the same colored scarf that you wear for your sietch is sticking out of his knapsack. So it looks like whoever took Nalia came here and they did a little trading against her will.
Soshir puts his hand on his Chris knife.
Oi!
Cool.
Hold on now.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say Amirah catches the vibe, and it's like, okay, let's do this.
You see, he's like, oi, oi, oi! And you see, as soon as he backs up, a bunch of other smugglers like turn around and go, what the fuck? And they stop working and start doing what they were doing before, and they kind of like give you the once over. These guys are armed, dangerous people. Some of them are Fremen as well, or they used to be anyway.
Traitors.
Oh.
That scarf.
Oh, this one? This whole thing? I thought it looked nice. Hey, you got the same one. Nice, we match. Well, a little
Hold
bird that
it
they took on the
right
Oni.
there. There's only one way you could have gotten that.
I traded some water for it. If you want it back, I get it. Yeah, Fremen, alright. He like pulls out the scarf and he tosses that at you. Little trace of blood on it.
Anything else that I should
That's it. I
reappropriate?
bought this in Carthag, alright? These are authentic steel suits. God. Ugh. That man's so serious. Anyway, your friend went that a ways. And he starts walking away.
Thank you for your help, sir.
Righto. Name's Iblis. Look me up anytime.
May you live a long life.
With that, Tiberius, do you have a reaction to any of this?
No. I don't believe Tiberius. I don't believe Tiberius does.
Do you try to use your communinet?
I think now, after it's been several hours, he is trying to contact the palace again.
Okay. You get through this time and you talk, but there is interference on the line. This time it's not Harkonnen battle language over the lines. The wind starts to kick up and there's a rumbling out in the sands beyond the rocky outcroppings. You see the smugglers seem to know what this means, and they're like, "Oh, sandstorm! All right, all you dogs get inside. Let's go!" See a bunch of these smugglers start running inside to an open air cave. Is what it looks like. They have like a dome that they basically like a big ass tarp type thing. They put over top and they nail down. If you're gonna go out that way to go find your friend Zoshir, you're not gonna have to brave the worm, but you will have to brave a Coriolis storm. That's where we'll stop.
Every week, this fucking game.
Well, that's all the time we have for this session. I hope everyone here and those watching enjoyed the show. We will continue our adventures into the Imperium next Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me reintroduce our awesome cast one more time. Leo, tell them who you are, where they can find you online, and who you played this evening.
Hello, my name is Leo of the Black. You can find me here at Twitch playing video games on Sunday. Like I said, we're going through Halo right now. Pretty awesome. I think we're at Combat Evolved currently, so much more to come after that. Also, today I played for you General Archibald, and let's just say scheming be scheming.
Schemers gotta scheme, I say.
Schemers gotta scheme.
Devin.
Oh no, a silencing spell.
Oh no,
Cone of
we're
silence.
Ah! Hello all, I have been the perfectly innocent Reverend Mother Norma, who has done no wrong and never will because I am an honest woman.
Always. Key.
Hello, I'm Kisama. You can find me on Twitter at TrueKisama, and I've been Tiberius this evening, and occasionally Pardot. You can find me here next week and
yes.
behind a Denny's near you.
Thank you. Ambrose, proceed.
Hello, everyone. I will not be behind a Denny's near you, but you can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling, and you can find me on Etsy at Thornkind, and you can find me. No, you can't. The end.
Aaron.
Hello, everyone. I am Aaron. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the interwebs and such as Great Cthulhu. Tonight, I was playing briefly Eloise, mostly Amirah. Yeah, I had such a good time. I'm also deeply frustrated that there's this game. I'm going to think about this game all fucking week again. Again, I'm going to think about this game all week. Anyways.
Excellent. And of course, last but not least, Rachel.
You think you're gonna be thinking about this game all week? Like, I just got like a payoff from 2 seasons back. Fuck. I don't even know how to process this. Yes, I'm gonna need an entire week to process. This was amazing. I've been playing Lady Daphne. Thank you everyone who followed. Thank you everyone for watching. This is amazing. The video is gonna go up onto YouTube as soon as my bandwidth allows. Watch this space because we are gonna have a lot more games here soon. Definitely Dragon Age, hopefully Strahd. Watch my Twitter, come join my Discord for more information about all of that.
Excellent. Thank you all for being awesome. I've been Eric at Modern Recluse Online. You can find me back here Friday night for this game, and a very special thanks to Rachel, of course, for allowing us to stream our game. Big thanks, as always, to our viewers and fans for tuning in. And remember, never sit with your back to the wall. Always remember your shield emitter, and be careful who you trust. For in the game of houses, nothing is truly as it seems. Good night, everyone.